What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today, we need to talk to you about 3 stocks to add to your watch list for this upcoming week that could have a very strong likelihood of a squeeze. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So starting off with some good old data points, Tuesday and Wednesday are days to watch for. So good old CPI and then also PPI on Wednesday. Retail sales at 8:30 as well on Wednesday. So those are 3 data points to really watch for. And then over and above that, similar to last week, there's a hell of a lot of Fed speakers, so that in among itself could cause a lot of volatility. But I think Powell already did a lot of justice, or not justice, but I guess damage essentially last week on how he said that the Feds aren't necessarily happy on the progress that they've been having against inflation. So CPI is definitely going to be a hot one to watch for, even though the Feds usually look at PCE, but still CPI for the general population and the public, this is what is a good indication of inflation. So once again, that definitely could dictate either a positive market or a little bit more of a continuation of a downtrend. But when it comes to companies unveiling their earnings, there's not really any crazy ones. The only one to really kind of watch for is Fisker, and that one had a little bit more drama. So that was actually supposed to be last week, but because of a CAO, I believe that's what the position was, they kind of just abruptly left, and it did get postponed up until Monday after hours. So once again, it did get massacred because of that, but technically that could result in something maybe good. So I'm going to go over all the things that you need to know, not in any particular order, but since I did bring up Fisker, I'm going to obviously talk on them first. So similar to last week, I did actually have them in my list, largely because of just them being the most heavily shorted stock on the stock market. And then of course, with the whole debacle that happened around their earnings, I'm going to be moving it to this week. So Fisker, based on Friday, did go up 1.32% over the last 1 year, down 52%, year to date 44%. And the 5 days, you can kind of see as a result of their earnings, how it just got very much massacred that day, but last 5 days down 11.68%. But like I said, it's the data points. So based on Friday, shorts did actually increase 155,000 shares, 47.13% of the free float is being shorted. 47%. That is absolutely crazy. And I actually did watch Dumb Money yesterday, and I don't know why it just somehow rallied me to do this video. Normally I do them Sundays a little bit, but definitely this is one of those things that hedge funds are just massively just hitting a lot of good credible companies. So a lot of the 3 stocks I'm going to be talking on is just shorts overextended themselves. So 88.42 million shares overall are being shorted. Interactive Brokers short availability does indicate that there is 0 shares available to be shorted, and cost to borrow average is 52.32%. And looking as far as this, utilization is at 100% and short score is 98.26%. So once again, this is the most heavily shorted stock on the stock market. Well, I guess the highest short score. So the short score has a combination, and it's kind of broken down between the utilization, number of shares being shorted, the cost to borrow, kind of factors all that in. But regardless, it is the highest. Moving on to stock number 2, still in the EV sector, and that is BLNK, ticker's BLNK. Based on Friday, it went up 24.8%, and that is as a result of their stellar earnings, Q3 earnings. So they definitely did do very, very good for that as well. Just over the last 1 year, down 77% or 77.31, year to date 71.96, and like I said on Friday, did very well for that. On a side note, if you are looking for a lot of good compiled information such as press releases, SEC filings, transcripts from earnings, even the most recent Q3 earnings or whatever else, take a look at Seeking Alpha Premium. I do have a 7-day free trial for you, link in the description below and also the comments, so take advantage of that. It does have a lot of good stuff and makes investing quite easy, especially if you are going to be comparing it to peers and many other things. But still, again, I digress. So BLNK. So when it comes down to it, utilization is 96.85, short score is 87.94. Shorts on Friday did increase slightly, so around 47,000 shares, which is kind of a drop in the bucket considering 18.71 million shares overall are being shorted. 31.04% of the free float is being shorted, and looking through here, it does indicate that there is 0 shares available to be shorted. Cost to borrow isn't clearly as high as Fisker, but 18.74%, in my opinion, could definitely suffice. So this one, based on the earnings, and if there is a lot of good data coming out, could give this justification for it to have a very nice uptrend. And then as a result, shorts, especially with their limited supply, they will be reducing some of their positions. So that might really work out in people's favor, potentially, of course. But keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. You guys always do your own due diligence. And finally, stock number 3 is a speculative one. So I do cover this under my other channel, which is Financial Journey, and this one is Lucid. So Lucid is, I have a love-hate relationship with it. So I really like the product, I like the technology, just management has really crapped the bed quite a lot. As you can kind of even tell, over the last 1 year, down 68.62%, year to date 38.41%, and based on Friday did go up 1.2%. But in Lucid's case, they do have their next big catalyst, and that should be the catalyst kind of taking them up until probably 2026, and that is the Gravity, so their SUV. So they're going to be unveiling it on the 16th, and potentially they're going to be unveiling the price point as well. So I think the price point is what a lot of people are going to be paying attention to rather than the vehicle itself, because they already know that there's a huge amount of demand for that. Just we don't know the price point. So it could be 160,000 for a vehicle, which obviously the market would absolutely hate. Vice versa, if it's 80,000 or less, I feel like the market's going to take that as a very extreme positive, and then the stock price will definitely go up as a result of that. So it's kind of stuck in limbo, but I do feel that the Gravity most likely is going to be priced around the 80,000 range, but who knows? We'll just have to sit tight and wait. But when it comes down to it, shorts have really been all over Lucid since the get-go. So based on Friday, shorts did increase roughly around 1.93 million shares, but 27.98% of the free float is being shorted, which given the circumstances of what Lucid has been doing, even though there has been some demand issues in some of their kind of variants, technically, like, they are still producing a ton of vehicles compared to a lot of other EVs that have a lower short interest. Like, they don't produce anything. So Lucid in comparison somehow has just been hated on, and it's been shit on for a while now. But 247.98 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 42.31, and the current utilization is at around 96.5, and short score is 88.84%. So definitely this is one of those ones that you need to add to your watch list, regardless if it squeezes or not. But let me know your thoughts on these 3 stocks. I kind of did orient it, now that I look back, very much to the whole EV sector, but out of any sector in the stock market, I think the EV sector has been hit the severest. So once again, Lucid, ticker is LCID. You also do have Fisker, ticker is FSR, and BLNK, which is BLNK. So BLNK and Fisker are stocks I do not currently own. Lucid, I currently do in 2 different portfolios or positions. So let me know your thoughts on those 3 stocks. What other stocks could potentially have a squeeze this week, and why? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And take advantage of this promo. It is only up until November the 20th. Just take advantage of some free shares. So sign up for an account with MULN, throw $100 at it. You get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000, plus you get 1 free share of SoFi. So for $100, you get 6 stocks. Crazy deal. Plus any cash that you do have is earning 5.1% APY. So this is a win-win. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, I appreciate all of you watching.